That's good.
Now I'm relieved to hear that you've been to some far places. It's hard to carry on when you feel all alone. Now I've swung back down again. It's worse than it was before. If I hadn't seen such riches, I could live with being poor. Oh, sit down, oh, sit down, oh, sit down. Sit down next to me. Sit down, 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 down. Sympathy.
Evening, everyone. Evening. Great panel here tonight. Look at this panel, man. We have an esteemed guest in the fact DJB has joined us. Proper old school, about the same age as me, been around the Arsenal about the same time as me as well. So it's a pleasure, DJ. Shout yourself, mate. It's great to have you on, my friend.
Yeah, thank you for having me on, Jez. And as I said, brilliant to be in a wonderful company. Off the back of last night's performance as well. So a little bit on a high today. Needed that. Desperately needed it last night. But yeah, got a bit of history with Arsenal, just a bit. Well, first went there when I was 6 years old. And I've been going ever since and still go along. So, yeah, big up everyone. Welcome the community
man,
as well.
Top man. And of course, we have got none other from we've got two American guests who've joined us from over the pond as they get ready for their celebrations over there. Thanksgiving Day. Dal, how you doing, my friend? See you got your Christmas dinner up.
I'm doing great. Happy Thanksgiving, Jez. Ready to eat some turkey tomorrow with the family. Have the next couple days off of work. Just hanging out at the house. You can see all the Christmas decorations. It's getting done around the Devious household. But other than that, I'm still buzzing from yesterday. It's great to be on today. Shout out DJB, first show together. Nice to meet you, sir. And Kenny Ken, and shout out Maddie and everybody in the chat. Let's get into it.
Yeah, let's get into this, man. Matty, watched you last night with Ola and Lee, of course, on your watch along. Legendary, as always. Mate, how you doing?
Great, man. I mean, after a performance like that, man, I had some pep in my step going to dinner last night, man. I was able to eat and have a good time and laugh, and woke up this morning and it felt, you didn't feel like you had an animal sitting on your back. So it was good to see that performance last night. Everything fell all the way last night, man, and I'm elated, man. Can't wait to chat about it with everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, my partner in crime, Kenny Ken, mate. How you doing, buddy? Great result. We're going to get into that in a bit. Before we do that, man, how you doing?
No, I'm really good. I'm like everyone, really buzzing. That's our best performance of the season. You know what? A lot of players really turn up and play out of their skins. Everything attacking wise, we were ruthless. Midfield, we were just absolutely brilliant. Thomas Partey, the superlatives for him just go on and on. And defensively, we were really good as well. But special mention's got to go with David Raya. The bigger the game, the better performance for him. And sometimes you think, you know what, you may not have liked the decision to replace Aaron Ramsdale, but I think the more and more you see of David Raya, the more and more he feels comfortable as he is a proper Arsenal number one. And I think when you have a proper Arsenal number one, you can't go much wrong.
No, true. DJ, I'm going to come to you, mate, as my new guest, and I hope there's going to be many more times I'll get you on. I'd love to do some history streams of you with Kenny as well. Mate, give us your breakdown of that game last night, because I won't lie, I wasn't expecting that at all.
I was impressed, to be honest, I think with Arsenal, with Arsenal watching them over the years, Jez and the panel, I know how they're going to play within the first 5-10 minutes. As soon as they kick off, I know exactly how the game's going to go. And as soon as that whistle went yesterday, I thought, oh, hang on a minute, we're up for this. We were a lot quicker. We were closing down a lot quicker. I can't remember hardly anyone giving the ball away.
No.
The passing was slick. The first touch was there. Everything was there from what we saw in a large parts of last season. And it all looked good. It all looked really, really good. I think not putting a kind of blanket over it, but Sporting Lisbon, they're not one of the biggest giants in European football, although they got quite an impressive record. But I think what turned the heads on that particular game last night was the fact that they'd beaten Man City. And I think they'd destroyed Man City. So all of a sudden, Sporting Lisbon went up in everyone's kind of ratings. So up by us destroying them yesterday, there was a lot of heads turned because they're very good at home. And we made them look really, really ordinary. And one thing that I can honestly say from last night, if anyone says Saliba is not I won't use the word world class because I don't use that often. But if anyone says that Saliba is not one of the best defenders in Europe, then honestly, because the way he marked that Gyökeres was incredible.
Yeah.
He restricted him to long shots, and you could see him getting frustrated because he was smashing shots from all over the place because he didn't have the brain to kind of deal with Saliba. So I was really impressed with Saliba, 100% impressed with him. And Odegaard, I think the injury's done him good. I think the injury has done him good because he's come back and he's looking a lot sharper. He's looking a lot fresher. And may it continue, guys, but we've been down this road before, haven't we? It could all easily, the thing is with Arsenal, it could easily kind of turn a little bit moody on Saturday, couldn't it? You never know what you're going to get. So I hope
that in a bit. Yeah.
I hope we can kick on. But I was really, really impressed the way we was knocking the ball around, and Timber at right back just looks
phenomenal.
Honestly,
yeah,
he is so solid. Because the thing is with Timber, a lot of fullbacks when they go forward, they're all even Trent. When he goes forward, he always looks vulnerable in behind. But with Timber, when he goes forward, he still recovers well and he still looks solid when he's defending as well. He still manages and he reads the game so well. And I think he's a huge, huge plus for our defence. And now he's becoming more fitter because he's had a lot of injuries. So it's taken him a long time to kind of really get up to speed and get going. And I think now you're starting to see why Arsenal paid the money for him. So, fingers crossed, it all looks good going to the latter stages of the season, Christmas onwards, because that's where the nitty gritty starts from now. In
fact, mate, I totally agree. I think what you just said is at 100%. Unique's basically saying the same thing. Big up, Unique, mate. Member for 8 months. Last night's performance was frustrating because it shows how we can play when we are focused. Yep. We have to be more consistent and play more like that. Now, that's a great point. Matty, I watched you when you were doing that watch long, right? And you at a point in time were alluding to the fact that we were playing very free, very flowing. There didn't seem to be any restrictions. Now, when I won't lie, when I first saw that team lineup, I thought, I'm not sure. But it worked. So shows what I know, Matty. But give me your breakdown, mate, because I thought that was an awesome display.
You're muted, Maddie.
Over here doing the Kenny Ken. That was without a shadow of a doubt the absolute best performance by this manager in Europe, this team, since he's had this team. It took my breath away. And you rarely hear me say that. They came out, they scored early, they didn't take their foot off the brake. When I saw the lineup, believe it or not, because Warren messaged me yesterday, and I told Warren, I said, I actually think this is going to be all right, because you got three competent people at the back that you know can get the job done: Timber, Saliba, and Magalhaes. So everybody was covered. Everything was covered. And I think what we have to realize here is that this is the importance of why it's important to have a full, healthy team, because when you got a cohort that they all trust each other. And that's the key with defenders. Can I trust you when I'm doing my job? So that way I don't have to worry about doing two people's job. And that's what you saw yesterday. Oh, well, we'll take care of Joker. So they clearly, they had a discussion that said, you know what? We're going to sandwich him. If he goes to the left, you take care of him. If he slides over here to the right, I'll take care of him. If he happens to get past us, we got him covered back behind us. He had absolutely nowhere to go. If he'd passed gas, it would have been in one of their pockets. There's no way they could get past him. There was no way he could get past him yesterday. Then you look at the midfield. Declan Rice and Thomas Partey. Thomas Partey is on another level right now. He is on another level right now. This is the Thomas Partey when he's healthy. When he's 100% healthy, this is the one that we need, because he is just all over the place. All over the place. And I'm telling you all, if it's just like Unique said, and people used to say, well, why do you guys always want us to go 100 miles per hour? Because we look at the difference. Look at the team is built to do this. We saw it 2 years ago. The team is built to go forward. I went back. Did anybody get a chance to listen to Arteta's press conference? And I found something very interesting. He mentioned that he was trying to get them to slow down there a little bit in the I guess around the 40th minute or somewhere right around in there before halftime. And the players basically was like, the hell with that. We're just gonna go forward. They said, and they just took it back over, and you saw it happen. And that's what has to happen sometimes. Sometimes the players just gotta say, you know what, it's working. This is what's working for us. Let's keep it going. And yesterday you saw a case of when everybody's all on one accord and everything's going well. And the quick readjustment after they scored the goal, after they let the goal in from Sporting, they went right back to what was working. That's what I want to see. I don't want to see panic, people going crazy. When Ethan came in yesterday, it was basically just slide right in and just kind of fit in with everybody else, and everything went smooth, man. But yesterday's performance was outstanding. Hopefully we can see more of that going forward, consistent. And as I stated in the broadcast, Jez, we need about eight games, a good 8-game run right now. And based off of what I saw with a team over in Manchester yesterday, if we can go get a good 8-game run with the way they're going right now, hey, man, we might be able to do a little something. But it's going to take a lot of work. And we've got to stay healthy, because December, we've got a lot of matches coming up in the next couple of weeks. So, yeah, outstanding performance.
DAL,
yeah.
I see some of your comments today on Insta and everything.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, give us your breakdown, mate, and I want to go straight over to Kenny Ken.
Quick breakdown. Sorry, Ben White, you just lost your position at right back. He's a great squad player. Sit there with Trossard, have a little bit of fun with Jorginho there on the bench, because you are not our right back. Thomas Partey has officially earned the position of right back for Arsenal FC in our starting 11. Partey, incredible. Best game I think I've seen him play, since the injury. I mean, when was he out? From January till about April of last year, wasn't it, Maddie, or something like that? Or was he out in the season? I forget. The long stretch of time he was out, he recovered in the summertime. He got things together. He's by far looking like the Thomas Partey we had 2 seasons ago. I agree with that 100%, Maddie. And number 3, Odegaard, the puppet master, absolute maestro on the midfield yesterday. But with that said, you guys, look at the space he had. We know Odegaard can't do Odegaard things when he's pressed up, he's double teamed, so there's still some cracks we need to fix. meaning how do we get Odegaard to express himself even more like he did yesterday in tight games against City, Liverpool, Chelsea, etc. Right? We don't want to call him Ghost-Guard anymore. Go ahead, DJB. I see your hand. You got a question?
Yeah, I sorry to interrupt. One tactic we can use with Odegaard, and I don't know if the panel agree, but Odegaard, sometimes he drifts in the centre. Now, when he's out wide on the right and he's just filling him near Saka, when you said that people get tight on him, one other way we can utilise Odegaard is just shift him along to the centre and make him operate more as a central role. And that will confuse so many defences that he comes up against. And because they're set up to nullify Odegaard and stop the supply. So if they was to push him into the centre, that's just one way we can utilise Odegaard if he gets boxed up.
Right. My complaints with having someone of that stature and size in the middle is that they kind of just get pushed off the ball. Right. I don't know if he has the strength to fight off the center backs if he is more central, but you're right, because that if he is more central, that would give him more options around than just playing the Saka, which we see 75% of the time. Right. I mean, we always played to the right side. It used to be to Martinelli a couple seasons ago, and that's gotten to be our weaker side. But now with Odegaard, just the rotation he did yesterday is what we need to see every game. I don't, if he's close marked, make the pass back, but the center back or this number 6 needs to be there, and yesterday Thomas Partey was there. Every time there was, the attack broke down, Thomas Partey was there. It broke down the left side. Martinelli helped regain some of that because his defensive work was really good as well. And I got to say, we look more fluid without Kai Havertz. I'm absolutely 100% done with Kai Havertz. I don't want to see him in the lineup. I don't want to see him. He can come on in the 89th minute when we're up 5-1 against the next European minnow. But the fact of the matter is he slows down our play. He slows it down. And he looks like a giraffe out there. His back to goal. He did a tap in. Whoopee. He is not our main striker. Jesus just causes more problems. We saw it against Forest. We saw the energy. He's not the goal scorer that we need. But at this point in time, I think that these energy levels that we need to be successful includes Jesus in the number 9.
Yeah,
great game.
I agree. I want to get Kenny's perspective on this game. I want to get Kenny. Give me your breakdown of this, because there's a couple of points that I think are quite valid that people have brought up in the chat. You guys have brought up. And we're going to talk about Havertz, right? That's the case in point. Kenny, give us your breakdown, man.
You know what it was, right? Is that I think Sporting were pretty confident they're going to turn us over because of what happened in Man City. I think a lot of people were confident, but one thing Sporting did, which was sacrilege against us, is if you're going to play at the back, by all means do it, but you've got to be prepared to react if you lose the ball. And one of the things they didn't do is when they lost the ball, they didn't react quick enough. They were very casual in terms of like when they went a goal down, and I think that played into our hands. They weren't prepared for the fact that we not only were we quick when we were in attack, we were quick when we lost the ball. They couldn't cope with it. You got to respect the way they want to play, but that was just playing into our hands. I mean, you have to point to Timber for the first goal. If Ben White put that cross in for Martinelli's cross, everyone would be saying Ben White. But for Timber to do that, when we recognise him more as a defender, you got to take your hat off to him. But Thomas Partey, that pass for the set, to split the defence, for the second goal, Havertz put in, you got to put your hands up. And one thing we notice is that if you notice that there's kind of like a triumvirate where Thomas Partey plays in the middle. That stops Odegaard from dropping deep to get the ball. He can stay up now because he knows that Thomas Partey is going to pass the ball to him accurately. And then once Odegaard gets near to Saka, that frees Saka. And I don't think people notice how beneficial it is to the team when they're all on song. It basically makes Saka virtually playable because Odegaard's got Thomas Partey to, like I said, in that midfield to protect him. To virtually say, mate, you don't have to defend. All you've got to do is press. I'll do all your defending. Stay where you are. I can pass the ball to you, and boom, you can do your magic. But you really, really have to look at Arteta at the end of the game. He went straight at Charles Partey and hugged him. He's thinking, that's my man. But, a lot of people talking about Ben White being one of the best right backs in the country. Well, I don't think he's the best right back at the club. That's Timber. I've been crying and screaming. Timber's not a left back. Timber's not a left back. Get him at right back. And now we've seen the fruits. Can't knock it. But defensively, Magalhaes and Saliba, absolutely immense. They basically gave Gyökeres nothing. But you've got to feel for Gyökeres. But Sporting maybe could have played the ball a bit longer, but they didn't. They played to his feet. But what we did well was that we forced him into channels where he couldn't hurt us, where he had to take long shots. That was just good play all over the park. But it was hard to find any negatives, but I do understand where Dale's coming along, that when we're playing this fast-flowing football, what you need is a striker who, one, doesn't slow the game down, basically can link up the play better and is on form. Now, Jesus can do all that, but the problem is he's off form. And that is a bigger killer for him. I don't know whether it's since he lost injury, been injured, or it's just a lack of confidence because he doesn't think the manager trusts him. And I think that's such a fall from grace for Jesus, because you remember when he first came to the club, when we went on that run in 22-23, he was flying. He was a guy that we could rely on when we were playing fast flowing football. When Partey was running the midfield, Odegaard was the conductor, Saka was into space. Jesus' song was fantastic, but we're talking about Jesus 2 years ago. The same thing we say about Martinelli, that when people big up Martinelli and say that Martinelli's, is an elite strike, could be an elite player, one thing you have to say, and one thing you can't deny, we look at Martinelli and Jesus in sort of romantic terms of what they did before, but at present they're not they're not those players, and I think that's where players like Havertz will get games because of the fact, one, he cost £65 million, and two, the manager's desperate for him to work. He's desperate because if Havertz works, that can save Arsenal £100 million. It's not going to work because Havertz just isn't that player. But I do understand where Dav's coming from regarding Jesus. But one thing before we let the show flow, Arteta doesn't do everything right, but one thing he got right was his goalkeeper. Can't deny it now. I back that because I can see what he do. But when you look at Raya, since he got to the club, since he came through that alleged bad patch when he first got in the side. You think about it now, it's like he's been our goalkeeper for years when he's only been here for the last 14 months, 15 months at best. That is a number one. Yeah. I don't know if we're going to win anything this season. He's top grade. He is.
He's top grade. Unique's got a question. Unique, I'm going to star that. We'll come to that comment, mate, about the game at the weekend. We're going to talk about that one, West Ham. DJB, mate. It's a great comment. That it's open for discussion here. David Raya. I mean, I thought last night he was unreal. He saved a couple of. I mean, that one dive to the left where he just tipped it. You know what I mean? He was pretty unsighted. I mean, dear God, we've found a diamond in the rust here, haven't we?
I think so. Yeah, 100%. When he first came on, I think because of the Ramsdale. Let's be honest, Ramsdale hadn't done a lot wrong. So when he came in, it was kind of, everyone was feeling a bit bitter, feeling a bit sorry for Ramsdale, and weren't really concentrating on David Raya. Even me, he looked a bit shaky. When he came for crosses, he was hesitant to come. And I'm thinking, oh no, what's he doing here? But as Raya's now found himself more and more involved, and he's made that position his own, you can see he's got quality all around him. He's very, very, if you look at David Raya, he's very, very quick to get down to the corners. He's really, he's quite a big guy, really, but he's very, very quick on getting down. And his recovery is very good as well. When he's on the floor and he makes a save, his recovery to get back in position is very, very good. And that's important. But over the years, we've had some great goalkeepers. You know, goalkeepers for Arsenal has been one of our, you know, niches, I think, you know. But yeah, I'm impressed with him. And more importantly, the reason why he was brought in was like the keeper sweeper kind of role. And his distribution in this season has improved immensely. He's picking out sort of 30, 40, 20-yard passes now straight to feet. And what I like about him as well now, if it's not on and he feels that the press is on for the opposition, he kind of waves everyone up the field now and he kicks it long. So he's starting to learn, hang on a minute, that could put us under pressure there. I'm not going to do that. And I can't remember the mistake he made. And I think since that mistake he made, I can't remember who it was for. One of you probably remember last season, he kicked the ball out and it went more or less straight to the player and he came in and scored.
Was that versus Villa? Was that versus Villa?
It was Tottenham. Okay, it's Tottenham. With,
was it Spurs Villa? It was one of the
guys. It was Spurs away when I think when we were 3-0 up and they got pulled the goal back.
That's it, Kenny. And it gave them a lift, didn't it? We were battering them and it gave them a lift, didn't it?
Right.
Since then, since that mistake, he seems to now have more awareness about him. On his distribution, is it okay to go short? Should I be going long? But yeah, I don't really worry so much about David Raya now. Obviously, it's the old supporters question with goalkeepers. We love a goalkeeper to come to crosses and be commanding, and he seems to get that now. You know, crosses come in the box now, and we're getting that sort of David Seaman vibe about us now, aren't we? Where he's kind of, you know, it's going to be in safe hands, because one thing Seaman was, when he came for a ball, he 9 out of times got it, you know. And he's getting that around him now, Raya. So that ain't a problem. But it does help when you've got two good centre halves in front of you, like previous goalkeepers have had. One thing, can I just say before you move on, Jez, about Ben White? Would it be a possible, because I'm not convinced with Calafiore yet as a defender, wouldn't it be, couldn't Ben White play at left back, because he played on the left-hand side of for Brighton, didn't he, in that centre-half role? And what I'm thinking of is, what would that look like? Timber at right back, Ben White at left back. You know, I'm just giving something to people to think about. Because Calafiore is still learning his trade. I think it's going to take him a good couple of seasons, I think, to really get to grips.
I don't know. Personally, I'm not sure. I'm not, but on that one, I just quickly. I want to do a quickly round robin on this question from Vic. Right, thoughts on Timber being right back full time going forward? I personally think Timber technically looks so sound, one of our best. Matty, what do you think? Give us your breakdown.
You're muted, bro.
So I'm all for it, man. I am 100% in favor of that. And I hadn't even thought about what DJB just brought up. I'm sitting here thinking about, like, you know what? I'd almost take a shot on that, because then you at least you got four people back in the back that can get the job done. I mean, at this stage, you know, when you watch Timber, man, Timber is he's like a throwback, right? We hadn't had a right back at the club worth the damn in how many years, Kenny? I mean, a really, 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 really good one. Really.
Sagna was the last top one.
Sonya, you had to probably go back, you know, the Sonya.
Yeah.
You know, but it's to have somebody that you can just his catch up, if he goes up, it's like somebody mentioned earlier, he can catch up to you. He got good speed, you know, he can whip balls in. And this is what we would have gotten last year had he not gotten injured. I think honestly we would have gotten the same performance last year had he not gotten injured. The only thing that the only knock I've known on him was, I know 1 or 2 times there at Ajax he does get a little rush of blood to the head, but that's if he's usually playing in the center. But out wide, you don't really have those issues with him. So as long as, you know, we keep him healthy, man, I think that's the only thing it's going to come down to for me is as long as he's healthy, and if he stays healthy, then there's no telling what he can do for the year. I hope that Arteta doesn't start trying to second guess himself and start changing and tinkering. He should be able to look at that game last night, and he should have been able to say, you know what, I think this is probably going to be the best it's going to get for me for this year. I'm going to just stick with this, and we'll see how it goes. But if he starts trying to, start playing Kai Havertz at center back and all that crazy stuff, just all that weird stuff he does, then it'll upset the apple cart. But I think, for me personally, I think yesterday was the closest that we've seen to what should be the starting lineup for the rest of the season. And I can't say enough good things about that game last night. It's been a long time, gentlemen, since I've actually watched the Arsenal game and go, you know what, man, that was I can't even find anything wrong with that. And as far as Raya, Jez, Kenny, we were saying it last year. We told everybody. I'm here to say we told you so, because we backed Raya when we were chastised. Everybody thought we were crazy. With friends of Aaron, they came for us, and we told you, we was like, nah. No matter how bad Raya is, we'll take Raya over Ramsdale any day of the week. Because when I watched that game last night, Jez, I was sitting there. I didn't say it on the broadcast, but I was sitting there saying to myself, yeah, I see how we lost that game against Sporting Lisbon and when we was in Europe. I can see it now because I said because there would have been 2 or 3 howlers in that game yesterday. But there was a certain time there with Raya, man, and JB alluded to it, is distribution. It was 1 or 2 times that I saw you picked up the ball, looked up real quick, the ball's back in play. There's not any waiting and second guessing. Ball's back in play. Or as he said, he move everybody up. I'm putting it 30, 40 yards down the pitch. Y'all sort it out up there. But back here, we're not dealing with them.
Speaking of waiting, he did get a yellow card for wasting time.
Well, I mean, that was 50 minutes. But he's notorious for that this year. He'll get a yellow card for wasting time.
Oh, yeah. Just take it for the team, bro. Take it for the team.
What? That's that period where I said I think Arteta was trying to slow the game down,
right?
And the players was just like bump all that, man. Let's just pick up the pace, And I think yesterday's game just across the board was it was a wonderful piece of artwork yesterday, man. You really don't get me speechless when it comes to Arsenal game, but yesterday's game there's nothing I can point at yesterday and go, oh yeah, man, I wish they would have fixed this to did this, but I mean it was.
Maddie, there's probably Thanksgiving Day discounts at the merchandise shop.
No, we're not buying any jerseys. No. We're not doing that. No, we still need a striker.
I mean, Timber, he's a breath of fresh air, isn't he?
Yeah. Yeah. Are you asking me or Kenny? I didn't hear you, Jez.
Yeah, Kenny, we do a quick one on this one, Kenny. Give me a quick breakdown of what you think about.
That was the plan when he first came to the football club. It was only that, let's not forget, Shevchenko was injured last summer during the pre-season. So he started in the Charity Shield against Man City last season, had an excellent game, played against Nottingham Forest in that position. Then he got injured, and then what happened is that's where kind of the tactical plan went out the window, and we relied on Benjamin White, who, by the way, did a really good job for us at right back. Only there's certain things where if Mick Arteta noticed a weakness in a certain area of the field and a certain player's game, he would look to upgrade. Hence the fact that we had an upgrade on the goalkeeper, and I think we are going to have an upgrade on Benjamin White as well as he does. It gives us everything he's all. I think from a defensive point of view, especially if you notice games in the 22-23 season and even games last season, he was always vulnerable when left wing with quick feet went at him. And because what will happen is because he struggled, that dragged Saliba out of the centre half position to come and protect him, and that left spaces in the middle for runners to run into. Now, if Saliba, that doesn't happen. Hence the fact he is going to be a long-term, beneficiary in that position. But yeah, talking of Raya, who knew, eh? Who knew? And let's not forget, Mick Arteta was in for Raya, in the season during lockdown season when Brentford refused to sell, and they're pretty stubborn for a few years. But eventually they did sell, and he's 27 million well spent. And let's face it, give it a couple of years, he'll probably be the best goalkeeper in the country. If he,
He got Golden Gloves last season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to move it on to another couple of games here, right? I want to have a chat about a certain team, right? DJB, give me a man in match for last night.
There were so many good performances, Jez. It's a difficult one. It is a tough one. I mean, Odegaard was doing his thing. To me, I thought Saliba was flawless, to be honest. Because, honestly, if you watch him, he was like a Rolls Royce. Yeah, Odegaard was brilliant. But I thought the way Saliba came in and he handled Gyökeres was just magnificent. I mean, he held that defence together and it allowed the rest of because they knew Gyökeres was well looked after, that allowed people like Partey, Rice, Odegaard, Saka, Timber, it allowed them space. It allowed them to be more confident because let's face it, this Gyökeres guy, he's been knocking goals in for fun. So in the back of your mind, and we've all played football before, when you know you're up against a good striker, whenever you go forward or you've got the ball, you've always got that in the back of your mind. If I lose it, that fella's in behind me. He's going to go up and do us some damage. But I thought the way Saliba handled him, everyone was relaxed about it. And I thought Saliba laid down the kind of benchmark to allow all the others to go and play. So if it was me personally, I know he weren't the one that was creative and doing the passing, but if you looked at the way he marked that striker yesterday, I thought he was outstanding.
He was
There were times, DJ, I thought I saw him rolling the ball with the top of his foot away from Gyökeres.
Incredible.
Like he was literally shielding Gyökeres from the ball a few times and just kind of toying with him as he found the outlet to Timber. Very good point.
Yeah, I mean, for me, Saliba was man of the match. I think he just absolutely took Gyökeres out of the game. Matty, man of the match for you?
Magalhaes.
Okay.
Magalhaes.
Great goal, Gabriel. Great goal.
Great goal.
Yeah, he.
Yeah.
I mean, I just think that you've got Saliba, who's the finesse defender, and then you got Magalhaes, who is the enforcer,
The aggressor. Yep.
the aggressive one. And see, when you have a back line, you've got to have one of the center backs. You've got to literally have one of them that they have to do that. That's usually how it works, you know. And I just think that to complemented Saliba extremely well on basically, you know what, it was kind of like this. The ball comes over to him, Saliba just kind of glides over to him. Like DJB just rolls the ball over and passes it out, you know. But if it's a breakaway, he's trying to go, you know, and he's trying to get to the goal. I'll just impose my will on him, and that's what he did yesterday. I just think Magalhaes just took a huge step forward in the last, at least in the last 2 years.
The Bozo gene's gone.
Sure.
Yeah, the Bozo gene seems to have disappeared.
But
He's captain material.
I want to.
But that's I would, if there was, he should at least be vice. I'm not sure if he's vice captain or not, but he should be vice captain. I've long said that as well. I feel like he could easily be a captain of the team.
Now, man of the match for you?
Odegaard, just barely. I gave Timber a 9.5. I gave Odegaard a 10, just because he was out for 6 or 7 weeks. Got plenty of space, was controlling them, absolutely ripping their midfield apart, ripping their defensive line apart, with, of course, Saka and Martinelli, and playing a huge part in that as well. But a Timber was pretty damn close to a 10 for me. I think I gave Gabriel a 9.5, Saliba 9.5, Gabriel a 9. But Odegaard for me just eked it out because of his comeback from injury, taking control, wearing the captain's armband, and pulling the strings. I thought he was absolutely incredible.
Jez, can I say this right quick, Jez? I felt like last night's game felt like a throwback to 2008, 2009 when we used to start out those early Champions League, you know, standard Liège.
Elbows, yeah.
Yeah, you know, the Anderlicks of the world. We used to just pull up, punch them in the teeth, and then Slavia Prague, you know, and then we heading back, getting ready for the league games. But that's what it felt like last night. It felt like one of those games where we just roll up Hamburg, first round, 1, 2, 3, 4. We heading on to the house.
Yep.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay. DJB, man of the match.
Yeah, I just said Saliba for me.
Oh yeah, sorry, mate. Sorry.
Yeah, no, go on. You're all right, Jess.
Sorry, mate.
Yeah, I mean, there was lots of there was many out there, and I agree with the rest of the panel. You know, even Raya. I mean, you know, we've been talking about Raya, but if you look at some of his saves he made, if they'd have gone in, it might have been a whole different story. Because when I've just picked up on something that Matty said earlier on about it, they were told to slow down. You saw that in the first 15, 20 minutes before we got the penalty, they got that goal. And I think I said in one point, I quickly came on and was listening to the watch along. I said, have we swapped shirts here?
Yeah.
Because it looked very, very nervy for the first 20 minutes of that second half. We started then to sit back, and I'm thinking if they pull this back to 3-2, we could have another Man City game on air. You know what I mean? Right. And I was relieved when we got that penalty, because that penalty came at just the right time. So also Raya, because he pulled off some really good saves and his distribution was spot on. But as I said to you before, I'm going to give it to Saliba. I think, in my opinion.
Fair enough, Kenny. I want to get your opinion, man of the match, Kenny. Then this question here. I think this is a great question, actually. Kenny, man of the match.
Oh, for me, it's Thomas Partey. It's because of the way he ran the show in midfield. You know, obviously the ice on the cake was his involvement in the second goal, but it was his passing. It was the fact that he the way he retrieved the ball, and you know what I liked more. He actually enabled Declan Rice to playing at number 8 position, where he could make his runs in an attacking area. Declan Rice wasn't needed defensively at all, and you know how I feel about Thomas Partey. His partnership with Odegaard and his partnership with Saka. When he's on song, from an attacking point of view, we're brilliant, especially if you can keep Saka fit and keep Odegaard fit, because that keeps defenses occupied, because he basically gives Odegaard a lot of protection, and he in turn gives Declan Rice protection. So for me, Thomas Partey, you know, we're going to miss him when he's gone. Because I think right now, I think we're kidding ourselves. Not people on this panel, but a lot of people kidding themselves that Declan Rice is an upgrade on Thomas Partey. A lot of people are now kidding themselves that Declan Rice is a number 6. Trust me.
I'm not saying
when he's gone, that you don't get another number 6 in his place, because if you don't, we'll struggle.
Hey, Kenny, can I ask you a quick question? I think you probably know this, that Timber did play the number 6 at Ajax for a while.
Yes, definitely.
Would you give some consideration to putting Timber at the 6, maybe not this season, but maybe the start of next season, if we were to bring in a proper right back?
You know what? He does remind me of Lorraine. Remember Lorraine when he first came to his football club?
Sure,
Lorraine, when he first came to us, he was he played as a number 6 and a CDM, and then we put him over to right back. And Ben White as well. He played as I think. I
want to get on.
Would do that? You think Timber would do that?
Gokres.
You got back Zubimendi Mendy. Get Zubimendi next season.
Gokres would be a great signing to our team. We kept him quiet last night, but with our players, he would be fully be unlocked with how explosive he is. Has he proved he can bag goals? DJB, give me your breakdown. Give me your opinion on this, mate. I'm sorry, I thought he was shit last night.
He looks, he's got something about him, Jez, to be honest. I mean, he looked poor last night because the rest of the team, his team was poor, really. You can see the manager's moved on from now. You know, they got the coach in charge. You know, he's trying a different system and he got crowded out. But there were times that he did look dangerous. You know, he has got the potential that if he gets in behind, you can see that he's a striker. At the current, what we've got at the moment at the club, he would definitely be an upgrade if we signed him.
For sure.
Because
that's the point. That is the point, friend. That is the point.
Yeah.
Because we ain't got a striker.
No.
I'm sorry, you just have to say it. Havertz is not the man.
No, he's not. And we haven't got a striker. And, you know, so for me, he did show little signs, and I have watched him, and he's got something about him. And I think he would definitely be an upgrade if we did manage to sign him. So, yeah, whether we get him or not, I don't know. But he was well marked. He was well marshalled yesterday. I mean, as many good strikers are, though, let's be honest, when you're up against Gabriel and Saliba and they're bang on it, them two, there's a lot of strikers that get found out. I mean, look at Haaland. You know, he's been marked by them in games gone by. So, but for me, he would definitely be an upgrade on what we've got because we haven't got a striker. Pure and simple, we have not got a striker.
What was it? What's his release clause? 65, 80, what is it?
80.
Yeah. He's only young though, Jez, isn't he? I think he's only about 22, 23, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a youngster, isn't he? Kenny.
So he's got, you know, bearing in mind some strikers, if they keep fit nowadays, you know, can go on to 32, 33. So, you know, if we could get him over the line and tie him down to a bit of a contract, I think he would bag goals in the Premiership, definitely.
For sure. Kenny, I know this is always a stupid question, but I always like to ask stupid questions. You know me. Do you think Arsenal would be in the game come January to go and say, right, release clause is 80, 85 million, whatever it is, we're having him? Would you take him?
I'll take him, but I don't see any signings this January on the base now more than ever because of the fact that we're still the competition group league stage of the competition of the Champions League is still ongoing. The last game is going to be on January the 29th. I don't see any team, Porto including, especially when if you take away yesterday's result, they've had a good tournament so far. So they're going to be looking to get in that last 16, even via the playoffs. There's no way whatsoever they're going to sell Gyökeres. No way would they do business. And it's not just Gyökeres. You know, no club in Europe is going to do business with us. You know, Arsenal are after a Sesko of Leipzig. Now, Leipzig haven't done anything in that tournament, but you never know. Next 4 games, they've still got 12 points to play for. They won't sell a Sesko. So, in a nutshell, any team that's in the Conference League, the Europa League, and the Champions League, especially with these new formats, they'll be absolute pork chops to even consider selling their players, especially when they've got chances of getting into the knockout stages. You'd be a fool to sell anyone, especially to us, to make us stronger. So, no, I don't see it happening.
No, fair enough. I mean, yeah, okay. Matty, would you take him, man? Would you if we could get the release clause in January? I mean, let's be fair. We'll talk about that, and I'll very quickly move on to another subject. Go on, mate. Give us your breakdown.
I will fly over to Heathrow, get a car, and drive him over to the Emirates myself, and we can get him. Yeah. I mean, brother. I mean, we are crying out for somebody that can score goals. You know, they can give us 2 or 3 goals. There were a couple of times last night where he did slip, you know, weasel his way away from Saliba and Party, not Party, but the Party rather. And we were able to see a flash. You know, I think he had one off the post there towards the end of the game. He had a couple of shots there from outside the box. I think his pace would suit us well. Now, as far as us getting him, I don't think we're going to get him. I think he's going to probably end up going to Barcelona. I'm starting to believe more and more because old man, can't call his name now. It's the striker at Barcelona, Lewandowski. You know, I think he's getting up there in age now, and they need someone that they can bring in. And, you know, that release clause, it's almost just like who's going to be the quickest to pull the trigger first. I'll say this. I know Kenny said we're not going to get anybody, but I'll tell you this, and I'll say this. If we do get somebody in January as a striker, that tells you all you need to know about what they're trying to do. That tells you right then and there that they're trying to make some moves this year to do something. But if we don't, you know, it's just a case of, you know, I'd hate to say it, but it'd be another missed opportunity. But we definitely could use it. It's right there to be done. It's just a matter of, do you want to go out and get it done? So,
right.
So for me, absolutely.
Absolutely. Dal, I'm going to ask you this. This is the elephant in the room question.
Okay.
What's happened to Man City?
Pep is overthinking things, and Holland is one-dimensional. Rico Lewis is shit, and they don't have Rodri or KDB, and they don't have their back four. Crimea Rivers.
So you got a shit squad then. You know
yeah, I mean, yeah. If Holland isn't doing Holland things, Jack Grealish, 15 goals in 4 seasons? I mean, they've ran out of steam. They've ran out of ideas. They've ran out of creativity. They're a one-trick pony. What worked for them 2 seasons ago when they bought Holland is they were putting balls over the top. Holland was running onto them and scoring goals like it was nothing. He had 50 Premier League goals, I think. So I don't know. It's just they don't have the players that can execute whatever Pep is trying to do, plain and simple. They just don't have the talent. And they've let a few windows go by. Let's be honest. They were after Lucas Paqueta from West Ham last season. They were linked to Zubamendi this season. They were linked to, oh God, who else was the guy? Bruno Gomes. Remember, it was between us and City for Bruno at Newcastle. That never came to fruition. They've probably missed out on about 4 signings, Jez. I mean, if we really go back a bit to a couple transfer windows, it hasn't been that successful for them. You know, Rico Lewis is not going to get them to where they need to be. Right?
Fair
Jack
enough.
Grealish is not the guy.
Fair enough. I'll get that. DJB, give Man City.
Yes.
Full
Guys, I'll give you my opinion on the City game, but before that, I'm gonna have to shoot off now. So I just want to say it's been absolutely wonderful to be on here. And thank you for the community that's joined us and all you guys on the panel. It's been absolutely amazing, and hopefully I'll join you again another time.
Anytime.
My opinion on Man City: all good things come to an end. We had it with the Invincibles, and it's heartbreaking because you've got this machine of a team and you suddenly see the cogs starting to disappear, and it's hard to take. But one thing I think where Pep's gone wrong, and he hasn't gone wrong many times, let's be honest, he's similar to us with a striker. He's only got Haaland, and they let Alvarez go, and they haven't really got any backup. So if Haaland's not firing, or he looks a bit tired, or he's carrying an injury, it's affected. You take Rodri out of the equation, of course, any team will miss a player like Rodri. But I think with City, I think you're starting to see signs now where they've only got the one striker and they've only got the one pattern of play. They've not got a different striker to come on to change things around. It's all one-dimensional, and I think teams are slowly sussing it out. Yeah, and I think that's what's happening. I think they've left themselves open. And a lot of City fans I've heard have said, similar to us, all right, they've got Haaland, they've got one striker more than what we've got. But, City have always had sort of 2 or 3 strikers. And at one point, they've had sort of 2 or 3 strikers to bring on and change the game. But they're looking very one-dimensional at the moment. And that's because they've only got that one focal point up front.
Yep.
When it breaks down, they're caught at the back and they're vulnerable.
Yeah, I don't think Bernardo Silva is as good this season as he was last season at all.
Yeah.
Bernardo Silva's form has fallen way, way off this season.
But anyway, guys, Bless to you all, bless to the community, and I'll see you all again. Matty, I'll catch up with you. Kenny,
Yeah,
Ken, always a pleasure. Dal, lovely to
Nice to
meet
meet you, DJB, mate. Good to see
Yeah.
you.
For you, bro.
Lovely.
Very quick
What's
question.
up, bro?
Go on,
Very
Jez.
I've all these boys here. I've done all their Arsenal journeys, their lifelong journey. I'll contact you sometime, get you on to do as a proper old school.
Yeah.
And I'll get you on to do your journey. And we'll have a good old chat, about an hour max.
That'd be brilliant.
Contact you, man. Thank you for coming on.
No, it's a pleasure.
Thank you, man.
Guys, bless you all. Love to you all. Stay safe and roll on Saturday. Good luck, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you very
West
much.
Ham's massive this Saturday.
Yeah. Take care, guys. Love to you all. I'm out.
Take care, man.
Bye.
Take care. Ken, give me your view on it, mate. Give you a view about what's going on at Man City, bro.
It's simple. It's not even rocket science. Injuries. That's all it is. Injuries to key players. And what's that? De Bruyne injury. They've had injuries to most of their back line. Ruiz have. It's Diaz, massive defender for him. Can't get him in the park. John Stones has been injured quite a bit of the season. Akanji, Ake been injured for parts of the season. Obviously, and you talk about obviously you talk about Rodri being out, but Kovacic missing against Tottenham, someone who can break up the play, someone who could dictate the play. They didn't have a midfield against Spurs, and I think that's where it is. Plus, Phil Foden's just out of form. Last season, he scored 20-plus goals last season from midfield.
Oh, right. Foden too. Yeah, absolutely.
So he's a casualty from what happened with the European Championships, where he wasn't one of England's best players. Yeah, I'll show you later.
Private members stream.
Yeah, private members stream. He wasn't one of England's best players, so he's taking that forward. And Haaland as well. If Haaland doesn't play well, then it Man City struggle. But one of the biggest things where Man City had enough chances before Tottenham scored to go 1-0 up. Haaland spurned them. He spurned chances in Sporting, and in a lot of games, he's at a stage where he needs at least 5 or 6 chances to score goals. That's not Haaland's. So that's another conundrum. But the main conundrum is injuries. I think you've got to put your hands up to it and think, come on. Doku, who stretches the game, he's maybe is not technically gifted as Grealish, but he's more effective than Grealish. That's a miss. So I think it's just too many players who are injured. And the problem is Pep's having to rush them back from injury, and it shows. It shows. They just haven't got the physical energy to actually do the things that Pep wants them to do, i.e. press from the front and then non-stop running, which is their game.
Kenny, are you saying they don't need any new young blood?
Oh, they definitely need new players. But the thing is, injuries don't help. You think about it. When was the last time you saw Ruben Diaz in a Man City shirt? When was the last time you saw Stones play consistent run of games? Akanji's been injured. Ake had a big injury at international duty. We know about Rodri. Kovacic, someone who's been consistent from this season, hasn't played. And
that's true. Him too. Wow.
The whole spine, most of the spine's injured. You look what happened with us. We had a few injuries. We struggled.
I want to move this on because I don't want to keep you boy here too long. Yeah. Matty, give me quickly your breakdown. What's gone wrong with Man City?
Well, I think you got a combination of several different things here. I think age of the players. I think I don't think he did enough business in the summer. Injuries, formation. Jez, I don't know if you caught this last night on the broadcast, but we were talking about the formations. Anybody who knows me knows I'm a big fan of 4-4-2. I do not like a striker unless that striker is absolute world class. One striker by itself. because everybody knows where the ball's got to go. So it makes it much harder. And with City, they're pressing one striker. He gets the ball. As soon as he gets the ball, they turn over. It was just wave after wave after wave last night. I watched last night for the first time in a long time. Maybe you talking maybe towards the end of the run with Barcelona there when he was leaving there. He looked. He was just the look at his face. The man looked lost of ideas. He's like, I don't know what to do. When the whistle blew last night, there was tears in his eyes. There was tears in his eyes, and everybody seen the post game photo, the frustration. I think that he's going to have to go back. He's definitely buying somebody in January. Who I don't know. They're going to buy somebody in January. And he's going to have to make a decision on, do I rip this thing up and start over? Because, once you start falling behind, it's hard to catch back up. Now, if there's a team that can do it and a manager that can do it, we all know firsthand that they can do it. But he's going to have to act fast. And this is something that's not being talked about, but I'm going to tell you this too. If they lose this weekend, will players in that dressing room start looking around, not necessarily him, but will they start pointing the finger at each other? Because this is uncharted territory for them. And JB brought it up earlier. All of us remember what it was like, the Invincibles, and then we remember 2005, and then we remember the Champions League, then we remember when we moved to the Emirates, 6, 7, and 8, 2006, 7, and 8, where it was kind of trying to figure out our way. And even Manchester United there, after Fergie left, they was used to sustain run of form and success. And it happens. But it's just a matter of, is he going to go back, make the adjustments and make the changes? Now, the Arsenal fan in me, I absolutely love it. The footballing fan in me, I look at it and go, well, it's about that time. You got us almost 10. This run has been unprecedented that they've been on, and so it's about that time. And it gets when you're on that level of success, you almost feel like, well, I really don't need to change anything because it's been working for so long,
right?
And then of course it smacks you in the face, and that's what's happened here. But this is, y'all saw in Kenny and Jizz, y'all saw in the chat what I put in the chat last night. That was wild when I looked at just to look at the amount of goals they've given up in those 6 games is astonishing. It's really astonishing.
14 goals. It's like 14 goals they've given
17.
up or something like that.
17. Yeah.
Scored what, 4 or something like that? 3 or 4?
Yeah.
It's shocking.
It's quite incredible. Yeah. I mean, for what we saw, now how it's going. But before we wrap this up, DAL.
Yeah.
Give me a prediction. West Ham away, London City Stadium. Bearing in mind, they beat Newcastle 2-0 away.
They did. That was a good game. Unfortunately, Mama Flossie didn't come out on the winning end of that. But no, I think that that Tone would admit, I know he's in the chat. I see Early Doors in the chat. Shout out Early Doors, that they are going to get a shellacking of 4-0 this weekend.
Oh, Tony, don't forget, Early Doors is in the chat.
He is in the chat. Early Doors, get comfortable with 4-0 this weekend, bro, because we're just going to kick off right where we ended up at the Sporting. It's going to be great. I can't wait. The bubbles will be in the air. The beer will be flowing. All the...
Well, of course, we're going to come on to that.
ICF fighting everybody.
Kenny Ken. Are you going to the game, Kenny?
Yeah, I'm going to the game. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think let's give West Ham their flowers. No one expected them to go and beat Newcastle pretty comfortably. That was a fantastic performance from West Ham. Brilliant performance. 2 good goals as well. So, but if West Ham start slowly and show any fear, we're going to be like a pack of wolves and do them.
I hope they come out to play.
You know what I mean? Last season, we got complete revenge against West Ham where they smashed us in the League Cup and they beat us on the 28th of December, and then we got revenge, 6 weeks later. So you can never underestimate West Ham. West Ham is one of those teams who have given us a bloody nose home and away. But the reason why we given West Ham giving us a bloody nose home and away is because we haven't been at it. We've got to be at it with them and show no mercy. We score early. We do what we did last season and put the foot on the throat and don't let go. I think if we play like that, we beat West Ham 4-1.
Cool. Okay. Yeah. Matty, how you see it?
Are y'all ready for this prediction?
Yeah, go on.
5-0.
I'm going 5-2 Arsenal on Saturday.
5-2.
5-2. 5-2. Because we've got 2 back-to-back games of high pressing, tough football, and we're scoring early. I think 5-2. I'm going 5-2. I feel really good about this game on the weekend. The game that hurt me is the one after, but this going into this game this weekend, I'm going 5-2.
Fair enough. I'm actually going 3-0 Arsenal on that one. Sorry, Tone. Sorry,
Love
mate.
you, Tom.
I love you loads, mate. We've got our mojo back in the last 2 games, and we're scoring goals. So you've got to play out your skins. Seriously, you can't afford any mistakes because mistakes against us because we'll pounce.
It'll be interesting to see the Antonio and Saliba Gabriel matchup.
Hey, I know it's going to be. Antonio's going to run himself in the ground for 60 or 70 minutes.
For sure.
He just tails off. Yeah, he just tails off.
He's going to rip his own shirt.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, we're going to wrap this up. We're going to wrap it up.
Antonio.
Great show. Great panel.
One thing is Kudos still banned? He's still out, isn't he, Kudos, when he's banned?
Yeah, because I think he went out right before the international break, right? So I think he's got one more game.
5 matches, isn't it?
He's got one more game. I think he got one more game.
Yeah, that's right. Fair enough.
You're never going to live this down. The nuts thing. That you're never going to live this down, man.
You know what? I didn't feel it. I didn't feel that it was going to take off. And I didn't mean it to take off like that. But that's exactly how I feel.
Pork chop thing, isn't it? It's a pork chop.
Yeah, but this one about the nuts. I think people don't have enough nuts amongst most of fan bases in the country, especially the online fan bases. And I don't think enough managers have nuts. If someone costs a lot of money, they play regardless of whether they benefit the team or not. And I think that's what some managers have to have some balls. Don't sort of have some nuts. Don't give in to fans, superstar fans. Don't give in to demanding board members because a player, pick the best team that can win your football matches.
Facts.
Say it as it is.
Facts. Yeah, you can't say it more than that, man. Dal, as always, thank you, my friend, for joining us.
Thank you.
Have a great Thanksgivings tomorrow.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Enjoy yourselves and stay safe. Please, mate, shout out all your socials where everybody can find you.
My socials are Oregon Goon at youtube.com, Instagram.com, infamous_Dal, and I am on the new woke Blue Sky app. I'm not calling myself woke. That's what it was called by Lee Gunner, whatever it is. But I'm on the Blue Sky app. Shout out democracy. Shout out freedom. And anyway, I love you, Jez, Kenny, and Maddie. Hope you all have a great Thanksgiving holiday. I don't. Do you guys don't have a holiday? Do you, Jez, this weekend, or do you have something going on or anything? No. Right.
No,
it's us that shared the corn and the blankets with our Native American people. Shout out to them as well. But also shout out to everyone in the chat for joining us today. It's been a lot of fun. And yes, you got to have nuts to win the league.
Quick question for you. Quick question for you boys from America. With you're having turkey, obviously, that's what you do.
Right.
Do you have Brussels sprouts with it?
I have collard greens.
Yeah.
Oh,
I have mashed potatoes. I got mashed potatoes, the cranberry, the stuffing. And then my wife might make something extra. But
I didn't know.
Collard greens sounds really good. But no sprouts, mate.
Collard greens and dressing, man. Yeah.
That sounds good.
No, fair enough. I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Yams.
Hey,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Matty, please, friend, have a great Thanksgiving over there. over the pond, and have a great day. Enjoy yourselves with your family and everything like that. Please, my friend, shout out where we can find you.
You can find me here on YouTube, Southern Gooner. I think we're trying to get the nail the day down because Hooks had a few things pop up there. So I'm either going to be on with him tomorrow or either Sunday. So we'll sort that out. But I'll be with Halftime Hooks coming up in the next couple of days here. And then I'll probably record a match reaction because I didn't get a chance to do a fan cam last night with Lee because I went to dinner. So I'll probably record a fan cam and drop it on the channel today at some point.
Fantastic. Thank you, my friend. Dal and Matty, have a wonderful time with your families. Kenny Ken, my friend, my partner in crime, as always, please, mate, shout out where we can find you. And I've got a question for you, Kenny, straight after that.
Right. You can find me at Kenny Kane 1972. I'm going to be on Dan's channel at 10 o'clock after Liverpool Madrid game. And, ask away, Jez.
Right. Question for you, Kenny Ken. Christmas Day. Turkey. I don't know if you have turkey. I don't know.
Yeah.
Do you have Brussels sprouts?
You know what? I think mother-in-law's cooking a dinner this time. Yeah, I think she does cook. There is some sort of Brussels sprouts.
Got to have Brussels sprouts, man.
There's 100% Brussels sprouts. Obviously, when my mum got
right there,
that's good.
Cooking, we made vegetables. There was no Brussels sprouts, but she did a kind of different thing. She put just as much rice as potatoes in on Christmas Day, and she did. We banned her from having turkey when we were old enough to make her own minds and said we wanted chicken instead. But I think it's gone back to turkey now. Now my wife's been doing the cooking.
Andrew, you are my part of the team, my friend. Brussels sprouts, pan fried, part boiled, cut in half, chestnuts and bacon with pan fried. Beautiful. That is anyway. That's my one job. Christmas Day is to do that. That's my job. Okay, guys. Thanks everybody for watching.
Thanks for having me, mate.
Sorry, mate.
Thanks for having me.
Always, mate. Oh, you're a legend. Absolute legend. As Andrew says, Jez. Yeah, Andrew, it's the only way, my friend. That's the only way. But, guys, thank you, Dal, Matty. Have a great time. Enjoy yourselves. Enjoy time with your family. Kenny, I will. Is that tonight, Kenny? You on there tonight?
Yes, I'm on with Dan at 10 o'clock because he wants to watch the Liverpool Real Madrid game.
Okay, man. I might join in. I might jump in and have a watch.
I don't know who I'm with, but I'm assuming it's going to be Igal. I'm assuming.
Okay, fair play. Nothing wrong with that. Anyway, everyone in the chat, thanks for joining. As always, it's been legend, as we all have. Guys, have a great time. And if I can find this bloody outro thing, it's not working properly anyway. We're out of it. Take care, everyone. Enjoy. West Ham next on Saturday. And take care, everyone. Have a great time.